I'm Alexander Rennie, and after a chastening morning spent attending a speed awareness course, I'm cruising up the A1M at a very steady 68 miles per hour. That may be good news for general road safety, and indeed my chances of hanging on to my driving licence. But it's bad news for the amount of time I'm likely to have available to spend in North Hykeham, which is today's venue on Forgotten Towns. So let's get on with it.
North Hykeham, Lincolnshire, population 16,895, rank number 612.
I've just pulled up in the car park of the Centurion public house. It's a good beer guide entry, so I think it's an ideal place to stop for refreshment after 4 hours on the road. You go ahead, have a look at what's on at the bar, and I think this is my round.
Could I have a pint of the Mad Goose, please? So, camera discount. Card, please. That's great. Thank you very much indeed.
Whilst there are doubtless contentious pages upon which Wikipedia's trustworthiness is open to debate, with teams of users ready to sabotage one another's content with opposing views on, for example, the culture wars, the Arab-Israeli conflict, or which is the best flavour of Monster Munch, my suspicion is that the one dedicated to North Hykeham is not amongst them, and that I can save myself a lot of silly bother by just accepting it as unchallenged fact. And so, there we find that whilst the town had a full 15 households recorded in the Doomsday Book, not much happened thereafter in the next 800 years, besides someone building a church and a couple of windmills, doubtless encouraged by the flat topography and the fact that, like mild cheeses, Class B narcotics, tulips, bicycles, and the liberal attitude to pornography, if it's good enough for the Dutch, it'll probably work in Lincolnshire.
I'm driving along the Lincoln Road through North Hykeham towards its near neighbour, Lincoln. This is a broad tree-lined avenue with many large, detached, mid to late 20th century domestic housing. This essentially seems like a well-to-do suburb of Lincoln.
So, throughout those 800 years, North Hykeham found itself within the Boothby Graffoe wapentake of the parts of Câline, one of Lincolnshire's 3 primary administrative divisions. Why the locals named their wapentake after a surrealist comedian and songwriter is not recorded. But whether they liked it or not, they would undergo a dizzying collection of local government reorganisation between 1888 and the present day, during which time Câline became a county, ceased to be a county, became 4 rural districts, and then 2 district councils. By the end of all that, I'm not entirely surprised that the natives gave up paying attention, but at least, unlike the poor saps I met in visits earlier this year to Barton-upon-Humber and Immingham, they got to carry on being in Lincolnshire throughout, and they do enjoy an impressive view of Lincoln Cathedral 4 miles to the northeast, atop one of the county's few hills. Yes, whilst this town may not have a hugely independent character of its own, it spent all of its history being only a short walk from the heart of the action and what was, for a fair chunk of that time, the world's tallest building. Some solace, I'm sure, against the curse of perpetual administrative reorganisation. Right, I'm off to cross the Humber Bridge for a weekend stay amongst the fleshpots of Yorkshire, but fear not, I'll be stopping at Gainsborough on my way back for another forgotten town.
I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo,
Nelson, Colm, Buttonley, Bradford, Buxton, Crewe, Warrington, Widnes, Wigan, Leeds.
Tocqueville, Barranquilla, and Padilla, I'm a killer. I've been everywhere, man.